Hi, welcome to the Streets of NIL podcast. This is your host, Katie Wu. In today's episode, I'm joined with Jalen Apalit-Williams, a senior playing football at San Jose State University. Jalen, welcome to the pod.
Yep, happy to be here. I'm excited.
So I first want to frame your story. What's your sports story? What sports did you play growing up? What sports do you play now?
So I'm originally from the East Bay, but I've played basketball, baseball, and football and track. But it's crazy because my first love was basketball. It's just unfortunately when it got a little more serious in like AAU around like eighth grade, freshman year, kind of stopped growing. So I went from being a center to now being like had to be a point guard, and it was just a little rough. But then my size and my height kind of with football, it just ended up working out. So football ended up becoming my love for sure.
And my question for you is why SJSU? Why San Jose State? Obviously, it's near home, but can you talk a little bit more about why you wanted to pursue D1 football at San Jose?
So it's kind of a crazy story. So I would say after my sophomore year of high school, I went to Alhambra High School in Martinez, California, in the East Bay. I transferred to Las Lomas in Wanna Creek, and I transferred there just for better opportunities. And my junior year, I ended up obtaining several offers, and I was supposed to play my senior year, obviously, and I had a couple of Mountain West schools that offered me, like including San Jose State, and it was really big with senior year, but like me balling out and going crazy. But unfortunately, I tore my ACL a week before my senior year season, so I couldn't get any more offers. I couldn't get the P5 offers, unfortunately. But yeah, through that process of just not playing my whole senior year, San Jose State was just the most loyal. Like Coach Carter was calling me every week, like, dude, we still want to hold your offer. Like, we want you to commit. Like, we want you. And I'm like, man, these dudes, they really care about like my well-being. And when I came on my visit, what really caught my attention was just like how how much of a family they are with the coaches, the players, and then Toe Brook with Beyond Football caught my attention too, because San Jose is in the Silicon Valley. So I
Right.
knew there would be a lot of networking opportunities out here that I could achieve. And after going through an injury like that, I know football is not forever. The sport's not forever. And I want to put myself in the best position to be successful after the game. So I just felt like, with all that being said, San Jose State would be the best fit for me. And it's close to home. It's only 45 minutes. So it was easy for my family to come see me. If I ever had any emergencies, I could come see my
Mhm.
mom. Like, it all kind of worked out. So it was really cool.
My next question for you is how did you first get started with NIL?
When the whole NIL thing came out, it was obviously when you look at like these P5 schools, I got friends that play in the P5. I see them making money off like their name, image, and likeliness. And I'm just like, dude, I'm in the Silicon Valley. Like, why not try and attack that opportunity out here? Like, just because I like to stay productive. So I'm that kind of guy, like, yeah, I'm on a full ride scholarship. Yeah, they pay me, but I always wanted to just get extra like jobs. Like I've always gotten part-time jobs places just so I could practice interviewing, talking to people, and just trying to practice pretty much showing who I am outside of football. Because the number one question that people ask is, who are you? And I can't just keep saying, oh, I'm a football player. Like, no, who am I outside
Right.
of football? So I got to practice that. And with NIL, I'm like, dude, I have to try and just get at least one NIL deal, because I'm seeing my boys get a couple thousand here and there. And I'm like, why not leverage my platform and just get NIL? And the San Jose Earthquakes, that opportunity kind of arose, I was like about a month ago, and I just took off with it. It's like, it's a really cool opportunity because I don't know anything about soccer, and I get to learn about it, and I also get to like use that like to my advantage and use that to like leverage my like who I am now. Because like now when I got the Quakes, like now there's more opportunities I can use to like, get other NIL deals. So it's a really cool thing. I'm really like, I appreciate the heck out of it.
Yeah, was that your first NIL deal with the Quakes?
Yeah, that
That
was.
was recent
That was my
too.
first. That was my first big one. Like, yeah, because Open Doors has like these small things where you do like a couple shout outs for a couple
Yeah.
like small businesses, but the Quakes was like actual like real NIL thing. So
Mhm.
that was my first big one, and hopefully I can get more in the future.
And what was the process like for you landing that deal? How did you connect with them?
So this is funny. So in the mornings, because we have lifts at 7 a.m. and I take my teammate, he's a corner on our team, Michael Dansby, and he already had he was an ambassador for Gymshark, right? And he's always, I kept telling like, bro, you got to put me on with Gymshark. Like, let me just talk to them. If you give me a chance to talk to them, like I feel like I can like just take advantage of the opportunity and get it. And he's like, I'm gonna try. But then one morning when I picked him up, he's like, yeah, I got this like this conversation interview with the Quakes. I'm like, what? Like, how'd you get that? And he's like, they just hit me up through Open Doors. They seen I was the ambassador for Gymshark and they liked it. And I'm like, dude, let me come with you. Like, I just want to talk to them. He's like, all right, let me ask. He asked them. They said, yeah, you could come. So what? We went over there. and like my boy was doing like pictures for them and everything. I just started talking to the dude like how like I asked him like certain questions on like, oh, like what kind of players do you look for, like is this your guys' first time doing it, kind of just like wanted to build a conversation with him. And the conversation was just, it went really well. And he was like, yeah, we're actually looking for like one more male athlete in this area. And he's like, do you want to do it? I'm like, heck yeah, like, of course. So then it kind of like, after that, now it's like, I'm with it now. So it's really cool because he's actually ended up being a really cool dude. And now I got the opportunity. And all it took was me asking my boy, like, can I come with you? And then after that, it was like, after all the practices I did with like getting jobs and all that, I knew how to talk to people and kind of figure out how like the best way to promote myself. So it just ended up kind of just working. And that's why I'm really happy about the opportunity. Cause now I'm taking off with it. So it's cool.
Yeah. Now you get to leverage that deal in possibly future other deals. So that's really cool that you just did
100%.
it. How has the way you interacted with social media changed, if at all? Are you more conscientious of what you're posting now, thinking about like trying to be more marketable to brands and with your partnership with the Quakes?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely am. I have to like, I'm definitely cautious about what I post because at the end of the day, especially with social media, is such a powerful thing. Like you can like when you post and like whatever your social media says, like for instance, like Instagram, like that's when people that don't know you see that, that's like okay, with those captions that you put, like any pictures you put, like that's who they like, that's like who they think you are. So it's all about like how you want people to think you are. Like, do you want to think like, oh, he's a football player, like, or is he football? Is it about family? Like it's just all those little things. Like you gotta be really cautious with the things you post on there. So now I'm like trying to take advantage of that. Like I gotta be cautious on who I follow. I gotta be cautious on who's commenting on my posts. Like, what am I trying to get out there? Like I posted the Quakes, and now me posting the Quakes, I got other people hitting me up trying to like do opportunities with me and like collab like with like for instance, I'm trying to make my own taco right now. And
All right.
the crazy part is I met the dude is the personal chef for the Quakes, and he see me through social media and he was like,
Yeah.
I love your content. I love like what you're all about. Like, can we have a conversation? I'm like, of course. So I pulled up to his spot because he does like a family business at this brewery. So I went over there on a Wednesday night and I ended up talking to them. We're trying to figure out how to like the best way for me to help him, like use like my platform and like how I could use his. So it's a really
Mhm.
cool opportunity. But yeah, it's being cautious with social media, yes, definitely. But now I'm trying to find ways to like put myself out there. Like, what's stuff that people like? Like, I'm over here trying to do TikTok. It's a little hard to do TikTok because it's a little cringy, like
Yeah.
behind the scenes, but trying to find ways to like create content off that now because I understand like one, like with the right post on TikTok, you could get your name, your brand out there like it's nothing. So I'm like currently trying to find ways to do that right now. It's really cool. It's like I'm learning a lot. Just by practicing, I'm learning a lot from it.
Right. Yeah. Going back to your Quakes deal, what does that role entail for you? Like, what are your job roles with your partnership with them? And what have you learned from working with a professional sports team? And what are your favorite parts about that job?
So pretty much what I do is they ask me to pretty much promote like people in this. They want me to use my platform to pretty much get them out, like just to get more tickets, like more people like around my age, like because we do this college deal, like college students could get in with like a discount of like I think $15 tickets now. So they just want us to use our brand just to keep posting because the more I post, the more people see that content. They're like, oh, you got an idea with the Quakes? Like, dude, I've never been to a soccer game. Can I go? And I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, just use this app right here, and you can see the discount. And since you're a college student, you just show your ID, and you'll be good to go. And then me, like, if we when we go to the games, they pay us to go to the games just to create more content, like just post like the whole game day experience. And I've never been to a soccer game, but then like the opener against the LA Galaxy was their rival game, and just going to that game, just the environment, the atmosphere of the games, like it's crazy. Like it's really cool. Like it's really cool. The fans are very engaged, but yeah, I just pretty much have to promote like them, like just using my platform and all like the athletes and everybody I have on my content just to show like, oh, go to the Quakes games. So I love it because I obviously yes I'm getting money out of it, but the biggest thing I learned is when they at first they wanted to pay me like not that much money. There was like, oh, how much do you want for to do this NIL? And I'm like, let's just do something cheap, right? And then my boy, like one of my boys, one of my old teammates, he's like really like in business, right?
Hmm.
And he told me like, dude, are you worth that much money or are you worth more? Like, think about it. He wants to
Yeah.
use you for your leverage, and you think you're only that much money? And I had to really sit there, and I'm like, Dude, you're right. I definitely think I'm a lot more than that. Like he's like you can't be afraid to tell him like no, like this is how much I want. And just
Mhm.
having that kind of conversation, like it was hard for me because I feel like I'm a nice guy, and it's hard to
Yeah.
like say, oh no, that's I need more, because you don't want them to be upset. So just trying to be comfortable with being uncomfortable with those kind of conversations, like the business conversations, especially when it has anything to do with money. That part was the part I had to learn, like to be okay with. So that was the biggest learning experience. I'm still learning to this day because
Right.
it's just those kind of conversations are just awkward because you don't want them to feel some
Mhm.
type of way. And but it's like at the end of the day, you got to protect yourself. You got to put yourself first.
Yeah.
So you don't want anybody to walk all over you. So
For sure. How has your life changed before and after NIL? What are some things that you've learned? You are obviously talked about that lesson of just like having to say no and having to like show your worth to companies. So what other things have you learned either professionally, socially, personally, etc.?
for me, it's just the process of life. Like, I'm for school, I'm a senior, and for football, I'm a junior. So it's just, I'm growing up. Like, end of the day, like I don't know how many more years I have of playing football. So just learning I'm like still currently learning like the business of just like life, of like working with people like outside of football, because all I know is football. So it's just trying to put myself in positions where I'm uncomfortable. Like I need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, like outside of football, whether that's like at work, talking to CEOs, talking business, like understanding how business works. Like I just this semester I just started minoring in business because I wanted to learn more about like I need to get educated on the business side because end of the day, anything you do, whether it's football or that's work, anything, it has business to do with it. So I just want to make sure I know I'm educated and I know what I'm doing because I don't want to have to lean on someone like, oh, can you help me do this? Like I want to be able to know the ins and outs of every like deal I make or anything. So it's a scary process, but I appreciate the process because I know I'm learning a lot from it for sure. And I got 2 more years to do it. So it's like I'm only gonna get better because I probably couldn't even do this interview last year. Like it's crazy how life works sometimes. Like you gotta put yourself in those positions because if you don't, you'll never learn. So I always try to put myself in these kind of positions to get better. So that's I'm still learning a lot, but I'm trying to absorb everything I do take in.
Yeah, I'm same as you. This is like this for me. I know it's a school project and everything, but 4 years from now, like, or 4 years before, if I was a freshman doing this, not even possible. So
Yeah,
this is, yeah, just like doing things to prepare yourself for the future.
all right, 100%.
Um, you talked about being a minor in business. I read your bio, you're also a communications major. How is interacting with NIL kind of prepared you, given you a look into what your possible potential professional future might look like?
I mean, just yeah, like even with the communications major, it's to teach me how to like how people's minds work and everything. So it's just it's putting me in the best positions to be successful, in my opinion. Because end of the day, when you get to college, like right when you take your foot in the college, your clock starts. At least for like whether that's for as a regular person or for football, like your clock starts. You have 4 to 5 years to do what you got to do to pretty much set yourself up for life. 4 to 5 years to sacrifice that 4 to 5 years. So I'd rather do everything I can do now, whether that's like adding football, work, school, all that. I'd rather do all that now and absorb as much information as I can now to prepare myself because I don't want to do that when I'm 40 years old or when I'm 40 years old looking back like, damn, I should have did that. Like
Mhm.
I like let me just absorb all this information now. And that's just only gonna help me in the future because football is not forever. Like putting myself in these positions of like the corporate world or like for instance, if I want say I want to be a firefighter, like it's just doing these little things is gonna help me. Like just educating myself because I'm gonna need this education. Because at the end of the day, yes, I'm a football player, but they can't take away that degree. That's gonna be on my name for the rest of my life. And I can always say I'm educated.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of things to it for sure.
Are you excited to graduate? You're graduating academically this year?
Man, I'm feeling old. It's like this whole college thing, it's the journey is just crazy from like when I first like committed to San Jose State to now me now. It's like I've grown so much. Like and me graduating, yes, it's something I'm really happy about, but I still want to obtain like get my master's after this. So it's just another stepping stone into the right direction. Like I'm happy about it. I appreciate it. I'm living in the moment, but I know there's gonna be more success in the future if I keep doing what I need to do. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, I resonate with that a lot. I'm a senior in high school, so I feel very
Nice.
grown.
Yeah,
Um,
congrats.
so what's next for you? What are you looking forward to post grad after the next couple months? What are your goals and plans for the future?
So right now, I graduate in the spring, and hopefully I have 2 more years of eligibility left. So obviously I hope I ball out these next 2 years because plan A
Mhm.
is obviously NFL. But like I said before, I understand football is not forever. It's like, let me do things I can do now, take advantage of like my leverage of being a Division 1 athlete, having NIL deals, and just using my brand to my advantage. And like right now, I'm trying to get this internship in a tech company this summer. Hopefully I can use that as leverage too, because I need to like take baby steps into the corporate world. Like I said, I need to put myself in those uncomfortable positions to see, can I really handle this? Like, do I see myself in the tech world? Like, what kind of jobs am I looking at? And then if that doesn't work, if I feel like I don't like that, I was really thinking about being a firefighter too. Cause it's about being with the team, like staying in shape. Like there's just a lot of benefits to it. And like when you work as a firefighter, you're 3, 4 days on, 3, 4 days off. So I can still, end of the day, yes, I'm a firefighter, but there's other things I can still do. I can still coach kids if I want. I can still be a personal trainer. Like there's just so many things I can do. So just trying to put myself in the best positions to be successful. But yes, I do have some plans. Like I
Mhm.
obviously I can say it, but I got to do it still. So I
Right.
got 2 years to do it. I'm trying to take advantage of that and just use my leverage and all these opportunities I have with the Quakes to be successful.
Finally, lastly, what advice do you have for athletes on how to get started with NIL or just getting started with like growing their personal brand like you did?
Oh man. Uh, you got to be able to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You got to put yourself out there at the end of the day. Like, yes, you are a college athlete. Yes, you like your sport comes first, but there is some time that you can put in off the field to put yourself in the best positions. Because, like I said before, as a freshman, right when your clock starts, right when you take your foot in the door to your college, clock starts, it don't stop. It's kind of like life, like time to never stop. So,
Yeah.
you 4 to 5 years to put yourself in the best position possible after your sport. Because yes, your sport, you're gonna have like depending on how long your career goes, you'll have a great career. Like hopefully it's 10 years, hopefully it's 20 years. You don't know. But at some point, your sport will end. And who are you outside of your sport? What kind of person are you outside of your sport? Like you gotta take advantage of these opportunities of just you being an athlete, you being Division 1. Like that says a lot. These corporate world, all these bosses, these CEOs, they love to see like, oh, you're a Division 1 athlete
Mm.
and you're trying to work. Oh man, like you really have your stuff together. Like that's those little things. And practicing getting into like the networking and all that. So you're just prepared. Like everything's business in this world. Like with your sport, outside of sports, business, business, business. So you got to be able to talk. And because you don't want to have to like lean on like your coach or your parents. Like you're an adult now. This is your time to learn these kind of things. It's a learning experience. It's a journey, but you got to live in the moment. You got to take advantage of these opportunities that are in front of you. So my only advice is to live in the moment and take advantage of opportunities.
On that note, thank you so much, Jalen, for hopping on the pod. I really
Yeah, no
appreciate
problem.
it.
I'm happy to be here. Congrats for being a senior. Good luck with everything. I hope
Thank
this
you. Thank
works
you.
out for sure.
Appreciate it.